Whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. But guys, week 7 of the P4G Tier 3 and below league. Your St. Louis Rampardos are taking on the Chicago Cubchoos and Coach Galactic Elliott. If you guys haven't seen our team builder, definitely check that out. It was uploaded yesterday, so you guys can go see our team builder, see what we're bringing, why we're bringing it, all that good stuff. Hit that like button down below and subscribe if you are new, as I do post battle videos every weekend, and we also do Pokemon videos pretty much every single day. So we got that going. Last week we were supposed to battle Elliott and we didn't, because he was away on a little trip, so we had to reschedule. It just so happens that this week is a bye week for P4G, so there's actually no match, so we just moved it to this weekend, and it all worked out. So sorry for the delayed match, but like I said, it actually doesn't impact anything, and we're right back on track. So you can see my team on the screen. His team, it's gonna be a doozy, man. I really gotta get hazards up this week, and I gotta manage some of his really hard-hitting threats like Darmanitan, but we'll see how it works out. And I'm gonna get connected with Elliott here, get this battle started, and I'll see you guys in a few. Alright guys, we are connected here with Elliott. Let's find out exactly which 6 Pokemon he's going to be bringing. Pretty scared about a couple different things, and I feel like he's definitely bringing that Licky, as it does have the Cloud 9 ability, which can negate the effects of my weather, which might be one of the better ways to try to stop my rain team, which has otherwise been pretty strong this season. 5 wins, 1 loss, I'm pretty proud of that, and we're going to kind of try to keep it moving here in week 7. So I think our week 8 match is actually against John, so got a tough opponent next week for sure. So like I said, got to try to keep the game plan rolling here, but I feel like we got a good team. I think if I can get up those toxic spikes, especially early game, that's gonna really help to wear down his team, because his best way he can approach this 2 different ways, like sticky webs, or he can go like try to set up on me with a couple different things. So we'll see what he ends up doing. Like, I feel like if Araquanid comes, it's definitely got sticky webs though. I think my lead is gonna be Rotom Heat regardless, just because it's Choice Scarf. So if he leads Choice Scarf Darmanitan, I can find out whether that thing's Choice Scarf right off the bat, and I can outspeed everything else on his team and just Volt Switch out, aside from maybe an Electrode, but like, I don't really care that much about Electrode, so against Rotom anyway. So let's see what he brings. He does bring Electrode, he brings Crobat, he does not bring Darmanitan, which is phenomenal. That's really good to know. So he does bring Electrode though, which is fine. Does bring Araquanid, does bring Tyrantrum, Licky, and brings Crobat. Okay, so he does have a way to get rid of my hazards with Crobat, and that's going to be his only way to get rid of hazards. So I actually had Crobat on my list here, but I didn't have, so I'm not surprised about Electrode. It's got Thunder probably. So Electrode, Tyrantrum, Araquanid, Licky, Crobat, Cofagrigus. Okay, cool. So he actually could try to set T-Spikes against me, but they're not very effective because I can just absorb them. So I think for me, my lead is I could do one of 2 things that I like. I like Rotom as a lead because of Araquanid. I like Claydol as a lead because I set Stealth Rocks. But I think Rotom is just the best lead because I could Volt Switch out on anything. So I'm gonna stick to that plan. You know, if he leads Tyrantrum, I can also I can Volt Switch out into my Claydol too. So I feel like that's pretty good. I mean, if he leads Araquanid, I can Volt Switch out and go into, you know, Dragalge, which isn't that bad of an option. So I mean, I have options. If he leads Licky, you know what I mean? Like, his only Stealth Rocker is the Tyrantrum, so I feel pretty good in leading with Rotom here. I don't think he has rocks. He may have Toxic Spikes. He definitely has Sticky Web. So like I said, if he leads Araquanid, I just Volt Switch out and I go straight into my Dragalge, I think, and just say, hey, you know what? You want to set Sticky Webs? That's fine. I'm gonna set up my my Toxic Spikes. So, you know, and Araquanid can, or Dragalge can take hits from Araquanid. So he could also lead Crobat. I don't see Cofagrigus lead. I don't really see that making a lot of sense. So let's see here what he ends up leading with. He could also lead Electrode just because he knows it's really fast. He can Volt Switch out on something. But again, I get the slow Volt Switch with, you know, Rotom, so I'm not too worried about that. So he's going to lead with Live Strong, which is going to be his Electrode. Okay, so Electrode does most likely outspeed Rotom here. Actually, no, I'm going to outspeed Modest. If he's timid, he will outspeed me. So I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch here. And I really don't lose anything by just Volt Switching. If I'll find out if I'm faster than him right now. I reveal my Scarf. I'm not really worried about this thing, because I can always bring in my Claydol. So, and Claydol actually, I think outspeeds this thing. Maybe. So, here's what it comes down to. If I outspeed this thing with Rotom, then Claydol is going to be faster, because I think I hit the same speed with both of them. Yeah, so if Rotom's faster, then Claydol's going to be faster, basically. So that's what it comes down to. So I'll know if I can go right into Claydol. And like, yeah, he can Signal Beam me, but like, not really too concerned. So I am faster, which means he's not running max speed. So I'm just gonna Volt Switch out into Claydol then, because I could potentially, you know, hit him with an Earth Power or something like that. And really, all he's going to do to me is Volt Switch, I think. So, let's go to Claydol. If he goes for a Signal Beam, good play on his part, but I'm not too concerned about it. So, let's see what he's going to do here. He goes for the Volt Switch, and we block it, which is awesome. So, I can choose to do one of two things here. I can set up my rocks. Choice Scarf Rocks, as he probably goes Araquanid. And take a Signal Beam. I mean, how much is Electrode Signal Beam doing to me? I kind of reveal... I feel like he doesn't stay in here, though, because he knows he's going to Signal Beam me, and what is it going to do to me? It's going to do, you know, pitiful damage. So I feel like he switches out here, so I think I take this opportunity to get my rocks up. So I'm going to go for Stealth Rocks, and just hope he hard switches out, and I can preserve my Scarf, like my secret Scarf, you know? So, like I said, I mean, if he opts to Signal Beam here, he potentially would lose his Electrode to an Earth Power. So I feel like that's my best play. And this Electrode's already reduced a little bit. He's at 75%. So yeah, rocks are good here because it hurts the Crobat, it hurts the Araquanid, it punishes his switches. He's gonna switch out, so I get my rocks up, and I get to keep the fact that I'm Scarfed. A secret, he goes into Arachnophobia. Totally fine with me. That's the big Araquanid. No big deal. If he wants to set up his sticky webs, it's fine. He's gonna have to defog them away. So I'm going 1,000,000% into my Dragalge right now. I'm going 1,000,000% of Dragalge because Dragalge pressures his whole team with Dragon Pulse. And realistically, like, all you can do is Liquidation. Unless he's Choice Banded, it's really not going to do that much to me. So let's do this. And if he sets up his webs, I really don't care. So if he's Splash Play, he'll do a good amount here. He is going to Liquidation. Okay, that's not even like offensive. He does get a defense drop though, which is a big deal. But not like a huge deal. So not the end of the world. So I mean, I can definitely go for a Dragon Pulse here and do about half to him, or I just get up my Toxic Spikes, which I do want to get my Toxic Spikes up, but I feel like Crobat can just defog. So I feel like I just Dragon Pulse here to get damage off. So let's go for, I mean, Dragon Pulse or Sludge Wave? I feel like Dragon Pulse is the better move. Let's go for Dragon Pulse. He's going to stay in. This may two-shot him. It depends on his spread. I feel like he probably can live too, though. Oh, that does nothing. He's Assault Vest. He's Assault Vest Mirror Coat. Okay. I had a feeling that there was a chance he was going to be Mirror Coat. So, not surprised. Not surprised to see Assault Vest Mirror Coat. Okay. So, it's good to know. I definitely want to keep Dragalge around. I feel like I want to just set up my T-Spikes, though, and force that Crobat to come in and try to defog. So, Assault Vest is definitely a good play on his part. How do I keep that Crobat from being annoying here? Because I can bring this thing in later and set up T-Spikes, too. I'm going to set up T-Spikes now. Because, like, he's just going to Mirror Coat me or Liquidation again. So, I don't really care. If I get my T-Spikes up, though, it pressures him and it forces the Crobat in, so let's hope he Mirror Coats again, but he probably Liquidations. He goes for Leech Life, that's fine. It's going to do very little. He does have the defense drop, though, which is kind of annoying, but it does so little to me. Not an issue. Okay. So, now I feel like my play here is kind of tricky. I kind of have to go into my, Politoed, I think. So let's go into Politoed here, because I got to basically kind of keep the pressure on that Crobat from coming in. So let's go Politoed here. And see what he wants to do. This is going to increase the power of his Drizzle, or his Liquidation, but not a huge deal. He goes for Liquidation, so that's why I didn't want to go into my, Kabutops there. Okay, now I'm in a situation where I can double out in a Kabutops if I feel like that's the right play. But it's risky, because, I mean, if I take a Liquidation to the face of that thing, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So, yeah, this thing is very, very scary. Like, I want to go Kabutops here, because I feel like Kabutops against Araquanid just wrecks. Like, I could just Stone Edge, and he really doesn't have a switch in. But Liquidation and Rain will definitely knock me out. So I can't really do that. So I don't have any safe switches to this thing. I mean, I could just Scald. Try to get damage off on him. Let's just go for a Scald, see what he wants to do. Whether he is going to switch out or not. Because he may be fearing, you know, what Politoed can do to him, like a Toxic. He may be worried about a Toxic here. And if I Toxic this thing, it's going to really, really mess him up. So I'm going to put the pressure on the Crobat if he tries to bring it in. Because he's definitely going to want to defog. This Araquanid is a problem. It's definitely Assault Vest. Or Max Special Defense. I don't know where my mouse is. It's like disappeared. Okay. I'm going to assume AV. He just goes for Liquidation again. Okay. So that's fine. It's really not doing a ton. So, and my Skull did like nothing. Alright, what do I want to do against this thing? Man, this thing is really sketchy, dude. I like have nothing for it. I have to like let something die to get my... Maybe that's what I do, you know? Maybe I just let Adept go down and I just bring in Kabutops. How many turns of rain do I have? Got 6 turns left. I have plenty of turns to bring in Kabutops here and just fire off a Z move. So, you know, let's let this guy go down. Because I'm going to have a hard time beating this thing. I got to put the pressure on that Crobat. So let's go let Adept go down here. He's going to Liquidation, that's fine. I should be able to live it. And then, like I said, we'll just go for the... I actually would have preferred if he knocked me out there. But I'm just going to go for a Draco Meteor here. If he knocks me out, it's fine. We can work with that. Let's just go for Draco Meteor. I just got to keep that Crobat from coming in. And I could just bring in my my Kabutops. And he doesn't have anything that wants to take a Stone Edge. Like a Z Stone Edge. So... And in fact, I don't even know if this thing wants to take a Stone Edge in general. Yeah, he doesn't. So, I mean, I can just save my Z move too, but I can also just nuke something with the Z move. So I have 2 options. Alright, so I kind of made some misplays there, but I have my Rain up. I have plenty of turns of Rain for my, my Kabutops to come in. So we can definitely pressure a couple things. I'm going to lose my Dragalge, but as long as I keep, like, I force some switches here and get a couple poisons, like, if I poison just, like, 1 or 2 things... That'll be really, really big. But one of the keys to this game right now, really important, is I have to make sure that, that Kabutops is still alive to beat Araquanid. Because if it's not, I'm going to have so many problems. Because this Assault Vest Araquanid is a really good bring. That was a really good set. And we saw Leech Life too. So this is good damage, though. This will be good damage. Even with Assault Vest, still going to bring him down. So... If he knocks me out here, it's fine. I mean, he could set Sticky Webs, but he's going to Leech Life, get a little bit of health back. So, maybe I live it, but... Alright. Squinted kills Dragalge with Leech Life. Okay. And now I know that I can 100%... I 100% bring in Kabutops here. And I'm not even going to think about it. I mean, I could also bring in Tornadus. And I feel like Tornadus can probably kill. But I feel like Kabutops is definitely the better play. So, we're going to bring in Kabutops here. Now, the only question is, do I use my Z move right now? And guarantee a kill on something? Pretty much. Because the Z move into the Licky Licky definitely kills. If I don't go for Z move and I miss, it's like, you know, it's one or the other here. I feel like he saves this thing, though, if I had to guess. I mean, Stone Edge kills either way, so I gotta hit the 8 out of 10 Stone Edge. It's tricky. So here's my pros and cons, right? If I Stone Edge and I hit, we're in a great spot because I have my Z move still for something else. If I Z Stone Edge, we knock something out. And if it's this thing, that's great because that's one of the biggest issues kind of in my way right now. If I Stone Edge and miss, I probably lose. Like, just straight up lose. So I feel like I have to Z move here. And I hate to do it, but I feel like I have to. So I'm going to go for my Z move. It's too big of a risk. He's going to stay in. So, I mean, had I not used my Z move, I would have just easily knocked him out, but I got to go for it. So, Kabutops kills Araquanid with Z Stone Edge. Yeah, I mean, as much as that stinks, dude, that I burned my Z move on this thing, like, to me, again, if I miss an 80% accurate Stone Edge, I pretty much lose the game. Because I won't have anything to beat the Araquanid. This is the biggest threat to my team in terms of his defensive ability to stop me. So now, something gets poisoned, which is awesome. And I know I'm fast in Electrode. Because Rotom was fast in Electrode. He could go into his Cofagrigus here, but it's going to get poisoned. So I kind of get that going for me. And if he wants to try to burn me, I could just go into my Tornadus and start firing off Hurricanes too. Now that could bring in the Licky Licky, but again, what I'll be doing is I'll be poisoning his team. and weakening his team. And now that Araquanid's gone, Rotom looks really good just firing off Thunderbolts. Because the Araquanid was such a problem. It stinks that I lost my Dragalge so early, but Dragalge was the main, like, that was, its main job was to stop the Araquanid. So he goes into Cofagrigus, which is to be expected. So now he gets poison, which is huge. And Kabutops against Cofagrigus. Kind of a tricky situation because, I mean, I'm really not going to do much to him unless I start setting up. So to me, switching out here makes a lot of sense. I feel like I could definitely go into my Tornadus here. And Tornadus can live a hit from this thing no matter what. And it can just U-turn out, which I think is a good play. Because I basically U-turn out on the predicted Licky Licky play. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Tornadus here. Again, U-turning out on the potential Licky Licky. He could also go for a Trick Room here if he thinks that I'm, you know, he's going to actually Toxic. It's fine by me. I'm actually okay with that. So he Toxics me. So now I have the option of going for a Hurricane here and potentially missing on the Licky Licky switch in. He shows the lefties on this Cofagrigus. Or I just U-turn out now. But this Cofagrigus is going to get weakened down. So I feel like going for a Hurricane here is really solid. Because even if Licky Licky comes in, like, I have to hit it, it's still a 70% accurate move. You know, it's still 70% accurate. And I can U-turn out if I miss anyway. So I'm going to probably keep the pressure on here and just go for a Hurricane. Because it's going to really dent this Cofagrigus. It's just about breaking his walls so that way Rotom can come in and clean. So if I can keep breaking these walls down, we're going to be in really good shape. And I still have my Claydol full. So I think Hurricane's the best play here. 70% accurate. Like I said, if I miss on the Licky Licky switch in, then I can just U-turn out. I think he stayed. He stayed in. That's great for me. I get a Hurricane off. And we actually almost knock him out. He's going to Pain Split, though, so good play on his part. He barely lived that, though, which is unfortunate for me. But we see Pain Split and Toxic. But we know another one will knock him out. And he's weakening us down, but again, his only Rock Setter is Tyrantrum, so I think I still just go for another Hurricane here. I have the time to do it, so this is my last turn of rain anyway. So let's just Hurricane. If I can get rid of Cofagrigus, that's awesome. If not, and he forces into Licky Licky, then he gets poisoned. So, like I said, I'm not super concerned about that. If I could poison Licky Licky and it doesn't have Heal Bell, that's going to be huge for me. But it very well could have Heal Bell. I feel like it's going to have a normal move and it's going to have Earthquake. So, I don't know otherwise. Maybe Knockoff. I'm not really sure. And now this Cofagrigus is in range for like Kabutops to revenge, or you know, a T-Bolt plus rocks. So ideal situation though is we get a Hurricane off on the Licky Licky, and it's gonna have me. I'm gonna end up being really weak after that, but you know, I could also set Rain manually with Tornadus, so we might want to keep him around. This has been an interesting match. I didn't expect some of these sets. And it's crazy that he lived that Hurricane, man. If I was Specs, he would have been done. I'm Skyplate. If I was Life Orb, he would have been done. But I ran Skyplate because I didn't feel like I needed the extra damage. I didn't want to take the extra Life Orb recoil. So, he's got a tough play. I feel like, I mean, yes, he can go Electrode too. But I don't know if that's the play. If I was him, I don't know if I would go Electrode here. Because that's like, that's a tough one. He's staying again. Sweet. Alright, that's fine with me. So Tornadus gets rid of the Cofagrigus. Torn kills Cofagrigus with Hurricane. Okay. I lose my Rain, but no big deal. I'll take some damage here. I'm down to 35 out of 155. I'm pretty sure that means we are not a Stealth Rock switch-in. No, we are not Stealth Rock switch-in, so keep that in mind. But here comes Live Strong, which is what, the Licky Licky? No, it's actually the little Electrode here. Okay. I mean, I can pretty easily go Rotom against this thing. Because realistically, he's going to Signal Beam or Volt Switch, so I mean, I don't really lose anything going into Rotom here. I could go Landmine, but I feel like he's going to predict the Landmine play and stop his Volt Switch, so because he probably thinks Signal Beam kills from here. So I'm going to go Rotom. Again, my focus is keeping the offensive pressure up on that Crobat. Do not allow that Crobat to come in and remove the Toxic Spikes, because those Toxic Spikes are super important for Licky Licky. Super duper important for Licky Licky, because I don't know if I have the raw power to beat Licky Licky otherwise now, especially if he has Wish. So that's a big problem, is that Licky Licky. Yeah, looking at my team, I'm gonna have a really hard time beating that thing. Unless I Swords Dance up with Kabutops and then Liquidation. I mean, that's an option. Let's see what he goes here, whether he does go for the Signal Beam, which I'm sure he has. He goes for the Volt Switch. Really surprised to see that play. It's not a big deal though, because whatever comes in, I can Volt Switch on myself. So he can't go Crobat here. He could go Licky Licky, and again, I just get the Volt Switch on it. If he goes Tyrantrum, I Volt Switch on that too. So like, no matter what comes in, I get to Volt Switch. Or T-Bolt. And, you know, I don't want his Licky Licky to knock me off, so I probably just Volt Switch on that thing. And then maybe go Politoed to set Rain again. And give Kabutops a chance to come in. Because Kabutops could probably live one EQ from Licky Licky if he doesn't Swords Dance. And then I get a... Here comes Tubba Blubba. Okay, so I do get to poison this thing, which is very nice. And like I said, we're just going to hope that he doesn't have... he doesn't have Heal Bell. But we know he's not AV, so... we don't see leftovers either. Alright, we're going to Volt Switch out here. I want to see how much this is going to do. And we're going to go right into our Politoed here, because Politoed is probably our least useful member at this point. I can set Rain, even though it's not going to do anything. Let's see how much this Volt Switch does. Okay, solid damage. Not a crazy amount, but something. Yeah, Volt Switch does about... he's pretty bulky. He's definitely very bulky. I could go Kabutops here. Now, you know, I think I just go into... I go into Politoed, because I can outspeed this thing and just go for a big Scald, and it's going to hurt. Or I can Encore him if he goes for something that, like a Heal Bell or something like that. I can just Encore him into it. And this also pressures the Crobat. He goes for Wish. Okay, so he does have Wish in this thing. So he's definitely a more supportive set, which is fine. And I mean, I can Encore him into that Wish if I want to. But I can also Scald here too and get big damage off on something. I don't want to Encore and have him switch out, so I feel like I want to Scald here. He's pretty weak. I'm going to go for the Scald just so he doesn't get a free switch in. And I want to see what else this thing has. He might have Protect, and if he goes for Protect, then I can just Encore him into that Protect, which would be really nice. And then he's forced to just continuously Protect, and then Politoed gets to get a big hit off on something. And I know now that I can probably Swords Dance on this thing, because his Earthquake's not going to be that strong. And if Kabutops get a Swords Dance up, it's going to be really strong, because I'm already fast in Licky Licky anyway, regardless of whether he has Cloud 9 or not. Which actually, I don't know if I saw him have Cloud 9, so that's interesting. Let's see if he Protects here. He doesn't. Okay. So I get a Scald off. Doesn't knock him out. He is going to get his Wish. He does go for Body Slam. Okay. And don't paralyze me, please. It doesn't. Okay. He gets his Wish. I can Encore him into the Body Slam, though, and force him out here, which is kind of nice. And I think I can live another one. So, I'm going to Encore him, I think, in a Body Slam. Let's Encore him in a Body Slam. Because again, Kabutops comes in and it pressures him insanely. And actually, Rotom comes in and just fires off Thunderbolts too. So let's Encore him into that Body Slam. And I can actually rest as well. We'll see. He's got to obviously Body Slam here. Please don't paralyze me. Sweet. Now I can rest off the damage and get back to full. And now he's got to be worried about a Scald. So let's just go for rest. He's Encored. He's stuck. I can Encore. Or I can rest here and get back to full. And if he wants to go Crobat at this point, I don't really care, because at this point, I Toxic pretty much everything I wanted to Toxic. So if he wants to remove hazards now, it's not nearly as big of a deal against me. And we're in a situation where Choice Scarf Claydol looks really good with Psychic, because his Licky Licky's getting really worn down, and his Tyrantrum isn't going to want to take 2 Psychics plus poison damage. So Choice Scarf Claydol looks really good right now, something you don't often say. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let him hit a Body Slam here, and then I'm going to go right out into Rotom. And then Rotom starts pressuring things with Thunderbolt. So, because he's forced to Body Slam here, and he's going to be locked into Body Slam again on the following turn. And Thunderbolt should be able to do enough with the toxic damage wearing up. And he's going to be forced to body slam again. So he's got to body slam me again. So I'm going into Rotom now to take this body slam because I can't be paralyzed. So I lose nothing by doing this, and I can fire off a big T-Bolt onto whatever. And it could be this Licky Licky. So he does body slam me here. Obviously, again, he's not very strong. And it does a lot, actually, a lot more than I thought. But he's in range for T-Bolt now. He is definitely in range for T-Bolt now. So I'm going to Thunderbolt here. Because the Volt Switch did, Volt Switch did a good chunk. I feel like T-Bolt should kill. I mean, if he were to live this, he would live on 1. But he would die to the poison afterwards. So it's not like he can wish and pass it. Like, or effectively wish here. So he's going to let me T-Bolt here. This should knock him out. And it does. Okay, cool. Rotom kills Licky Licky with T-Bolt. Sweet. So Licky Licky goes down. And honestly, I can T-Bolt the Electrode too now if that thing comes in. The only thing I can't really T-Bolt against is the Tyrantrum, which I feel like he very well could go Tyrantrum here, in which case I go Claydol 1,000,000%. And I just click Earth Power, really. Or Psychic, one of the two. I just need damage off. So he might be forced to Dragon Dance. And this is probably his opening to Dragon Dance, I think. So I could also just let Rotom go down at this point. Because, yeah, I think I just Thunderbolt and just let Rotom go down because Claydol comes in, it's gonna outspeed Tyrantrum. Yeah, here it comes. Here comes the Tyrantrum. So I outspeed the Tyrantrum. I do about 50% to him with a Psychic. And Psychic cleans the rest of his team. How much is Rotom doing with a, I feel like that's the opening. We simply just go for a T-Bolt here. I hit a T-Bolt, he takes poison damage. Yeah, I think I just T-Bolt and let him knock me out here. I don't really feel like I need Voltergeist anymore because I can beat the Electrode, I can beat the Crobat, and I can beat the Tyrantrum otherwise. So let's just T-Bolt because I feel like he's going to Dragon Dance. So he's taking 24% from Poison and then about 30% from Thunderbolt. And then Claydol comes in and it outspeeds and one-shots with Psychic. So I feel like that's the play. We go for the Claydol game here, which should easily be able to put in the work. So let's see here. Alright, so Thunderbolt comes off. Should do about 30%. About what I expected. He probably Dragon Dances. He actually goes for Facade. That's okay. We actually go down, so that's interesting. Tyrantrum kills Rotom with Facade. Okay, I mean, I still feel like my play here is... I mean, I could do one of two things, I guess. I can go into Tornadus, but I feel like I just go into Claydol and just click Psychic. Because Psychic is going to do about 50%. He's definitely below that. What does it do to Electrode? I mean, Electrode can't do much to me. I'm going to do about 50% to him. And then to Crobat, I'm doing enough to knock him out. So I'm going to do that play. And I still have Rain, so I can still, you know, send in Politoed again, set Rain, and then go into Kabutops. And I have Aqua Jet to clean if needed. So we're just going to click Psychic here. So he doesn't know anything about my Claydol other than it set up Stealth Rocks. He doesn't know if it's fast. He doesn't know anything. So I get to just Psychic here. And it should be able to knock out the Tyrantrum. He's probably going to be a little surprised, though, when he sees me outspeed. He could also be Scarf Tyrantrum with Facade. That's a possibility as well. And I was just faster because I'm a Rotom and I'm Choice Scarfed. So he could be Choice Scarf Tyrantrum, which is actually a really solid idea to bring Facade on it, knowing that I potentially could burn him with Rotom. But I feel really good about Claydol right now, potentially just winning this game. And the key to this match was really, like, Toxic Spikes, man. I knew I needed those to just chip down his team a little bit, especially with things like Licky Licky. And that Assault Vest Araquanid was a really good bring on his part. It kind of caught me off guard. I was expecting a more kind of like just offensive. I guess Assault Vest makes a lot of sense, though. I probably said that he has Sticky Webs, even though I knew it was Assault Vest. But Mirror Coat was good, man. It was, excuse me, it was a good way to kind of deal with Dragalge. So he's going to switch out, which is great for me. He goes into Live Strong, which I think is the, yeah, that's game, dude. We're in great shape here because I know my Claydol was able to outspeed the Rotom, so that means that I can knock out this thing. Of course, he is gonna actually probably die to poison here, and that means Dragalge gets the kill. Yeah, it does. So Dragalge kills Electrode with poison. So Dragalge picks up all the little bonus kills, man. I feel like Dragalge's Toxic Spikes has really been such a huge way for it to get kills, because that was definitely Claydol's kill there. But it's okay. So now, I mean, no matter what comes in, he probably goes Tyrantrum and tries to Outrage, thinking he's faster, but Psychic kills Crobat, Psychic kills, he goes Sir Swoop. Okay, well, he's gonna get a big surprise here when he finds out I'm Choice Scarf. I should be able to knock him out here, unless he's very, very bulky. So, and I feel like he's gotta have some speed on this thing. He's gotta be adamant. Yeah, there's a chance he lives, but I can take any hit from him. The most thing he could do to me is U-turn. So, and then he dies to Stealth Rocks, in which case, Claydol gets the kill from Stealth Rocks. So, we're in a pretty good spot here. He's actually faster. He did bring Choice Scarf Crobat, which is an interesting set. He does bring the Choice Scarf Crobat, and it does very, very little damage to me with Giga Drain. So he kind of brought that as a way to stop. Yeah, dude, Claydol, you're a beast. He brought that as a way to stop. Probably Ludicolo and Kabutops, because Choice Scarf Crobat is gonna be faster than both of them. So kind of a cool set there that he decided to bring. Choice Scarf Crobat. Not surprised about it. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in my team builder. I said maybe Choice Scarf Crobat or Choice Scarf Electrode. But Claydol picks up the final kills here. Choice Scarf Claydol with some power today, guys. Some power. That heat from Choice Scarf Claydol putting in the finest of work. That's a 4-0 win over Elliot there. We'll take that W. Good games to Elliot. Like I said, pretty interesting match there. That Araquanid with the Assault Vest is probably the hardest thing we had to navigate, and I knew that if I can weaken that thing and I can weaken the Licky Licky, we'd be in good shape. And those Toxic Spikes were humongous for us because they were able to whittle down so much of his team, like the Confagius, the Licky Licky, well, not the Araquanid, but like those T-Spikes were able to just like slowly whittle those Pokemon down and make it so I could pick up the kills later on. Two Choice Scarf users, Rotom and Claydol, very cool there. I don't even think the Choice Scarf Claydol mattered in this match because he never really needed to see it because it was, you know, the Electrode went down to Rocks, or Poison. But good game overall. We play John next week. We're 6-1 in the Tier 3 and below league and using some of these really fun mons. Dragalge continues to put in the work. And Rotom, Torn, everyone kind of got a little bit of action today, including our Kabutops getting that Z Stone Edge killing the Araquanid, which was really good. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.
Thanks so much for checking out my last video. If you like that one, you'll definitely like this one. And be sure to subscribe for more as I post Pokemon videos every single day.